Who's hungry? The Deli's open. Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of Marco's Deli, powered by WagerTalk TV. We're going to take a look at three WNBA games for the weekend. I'll break those down for you, tell you how I see these games. I'll also tell you what we've got going over at WagerTalk. And I want to thank you guys for supporting the channel. And by supporting the channel, that is giving us those thumbs up. It really helps the channel out. What helps even more is leaving us a comment. Tell me what you think about the show, if you like the plays, if you agree with the plays, or just tell me where you're watching from. I always enjoy seeing where everybody is from. All right, enough about that. Let's get right into this week's Deli. And we're going to start with a Saturday game. It's a big one. New York is at Minnesota. Looking at this game, the early line for Saturday has Minnesota a 1.5-point favorite. We're looking at a total of 172.5. Now, this is a quick revenge spot for Minnesota. They are looking at this one here. They lost to New York a couple years ago in the WNBA finals. Now, if you remember that, it was a very controversial game 5. And a lot of people felt that they got robbed. They should have won that series. Controversial call sent the game into overtime, and New York ended up prevailing. They met 4 times in the 2025 season, and Minnesota took 3 out of 4 the first 3 of the season. They did drop the final game against New York, but they were without their big gun Collier and several other players in that game. So I throw that one out. But they met just a week ago. And give New York credit. They were in a flat spot coming off the Commissioner's Cup win, and they ended up beating Minnesota in New York. Minnesota, it kind of embarrassed in that game. They gave up 99 points, and that's not typical of this Minnesota team. They play good defense. And with that said, coming back home, facing these New York Liberty, they don't like them. They want revenge. I think you're going to see a big defensive effort. And even though that was a high-scoring game in New York, we look at this number. The total came out 2 points lower than the number was in New York just over a week ago. That should send up some red flags for you. Line comes out lower when it went soaring over the total. Yeah, there's going to be some lockdown defense in this one. I like the under. I'm going to go ahead and take under 172 for our first play. Now, before we get to the next 2 games, I want to tell you, we got a special deal going over at WagerTalk. You can pick up at WagerTalk a 3-day all-access package. It's just $69. That in itself is a good deal, but we're going to make it even better. If you buy that 3-day all-access for $69, we're going to give you 3 bonus days. That's right. You can get 6 days for just $69. And guys, we're rolling right now. You can join me. We've been on a 3-week tear. My big plays, the 4 and 5% plays, on an 11-4 run. We're hitting over 63% with all of our plays over that 3-week stretch, up around 30 units for our clients. Head on over to WagerTalk.com right now. You could pick up that 3-day package and get 3 bonus days right now, or go directly to my homepage, which is wt.buzz/MD. All right, let's get to the next game, and we're going to look on Sunday. We're going to talk about another game on Sunday involving New York, as New York's going to play in back-to-back days. They're going to travel to Toronto, and I'm going to make this one simple, guys. Not a lot to say here. This is a classic sandwich game and situational scheduling spot. What we have here is New York having to travel to Toronto after playing in Minnesota the day before. And it's an early afternoon game on Saturday, and then they traveled to play Sunday afternoon in Toronto. That's a bad scheduling spot in itself. What makes it even worse is the fact they're coming off Minnesota. That's a big game. Those are two of the top teams in the WNBA. Toronto is an expansion team. New York played them once this year and they blew them out. So it's going to be very easy for them to look past them. Plus, look at who New York has up next. After the Toronto game, they go to play Dallas. Well, guess what? That's a revenge game for New York. They just lost to Dallas in the Garden just a couple days ago. This is a big sandwich spot, and I'm going to look to the expansion team, Toronto. They've been a feisty team. They're not winning a lot of games, but they're not getting blown out. They're hanging around, covering the spreads. And I'm going to look for them to keep this one close. Now, since this game is on Sunday, I don't have a line out yet. But I can tell you, as long as I'm getting 6 or more from Toronto, I'm on the Toronto side there. So let's go ahead and take Toronto on Sunday against New York as play number 2. And for play number 3 on Sunday as well, we're going to take a look at the big one in the WNBA. This one's going to be on national TV. NBC Sports is carrying it. It's Indiana at Vegas. Now, these two teams just met a week ago here in Vegas at T-Mobile. I was there, as I am for all of the Aces games, and little bit of a disappointment in a couple regards. One, the Aces lost, but what everybody was looking forward to was the fact that it was going to be the matchup between Caitlin Clark, the Indiana Fever, Vegas Aces, and A'ja Wilson, two of the biggest names in the WNBA. Well, guess what? We didn't get either one of them. Both of them were out with injuries. Now, A'ja returned on Thursday night against Portland, put up 32 points. Caitlin Clark has since returned as well. So we expect both players to be in action on Sunday. Now, what I'm going to look at here, even though the Aces have revenge, I'm not looking to take the Aces here, and I'm not taking Indiana either. We're going to take a look at the total. When these two played last Sunday, it went way under the total. And the reason for that, well, Caitlin Clark wasn't in the lineup. Also, A'ja wasn't. So obviously, A'ja generally scores 25 to 30 points per game. You take that out of the mix, and with Caitlin Clark out of the game, Indiana's actually a pretty good defensive team. When she's in the game, they play at a faster pace offensively, which hurts them defensively on the other end of the floor. She's going to be in this game, expected to be, I should say. So what I'm looking at in this one is Indiana's going to play at a faster pace. And it would be a wise move for them to play at that faster pace. Why? Well, Vegas is going to be playing their third game in 4 days. They played on Thursday night. They're playing Saturday afternoon, and then are coming back and playing on Sunday again in the afternoon. That's 3 games in 4 days for the Aces. So you're going to look for an up-tempo from Indiana, try to tire out Vegas. Also, got a note for you. That game on Sunday, not only did you have the 2 players out of the game, that game was not at the Aces' normal arena. They play all of their home games at Mandalay Bay at the Michelob Ultra Arena there. A few games a year, some of the bigger games, like the Indiana game last Sunday, they play at T-Mobile, not their normal facility. So sight lines are a little different, bigger arena. I look for them, both teams, to go up and down the floor on Sunday, and I'm going to look to take the over. Now, again, it's Friday when we're taping this. I can't tell you what the line is for Sunday yet, but I can tell you what my projection is. And my projection is we're going to see 187 or more points on Sunday in the Indiana-Vegas game. So what I suggest here, wait till Sunday when you see that line come out. As long as it's lower than 187, which I expect it to be, we're going over the total for play number 3. All right, guys, that's this week's Deli. Now, a programming note for next week. Next week is the All-Star break, and we are going to skip Marco's Deli next week. No Deli next week, but we will be back the following week with Marco's Deli. We'll have coverage for you here. Rest of the way, we'll be going right through football season and basketball season with Marco's Deli every week, and looking forward to another big year in football with the plays. So until 2 weeks from now, no show next week, but we'll be back the following week. Thanks for watching Marco's Deli. As always, let's cash some tickets and let's eat good this weekend, guys, in the deli. I'll see you in 2 weeks.